Gary, you did mention Hugo Lloris being the other sort of top-class player in this side. His appearance today means he jumps to second in terms of all-time Premier League appearances for Spurs, overtaking Jermaine Defoe. He's got a bit more to overtake Darren Anderton, but he's definitely on the right track. Jose Mourinho has called him the best in the league. I don't know, what's your view on it?
Oh, I just said that I think Lloris is back to his best this season. I thought possibly the last couple of seasons he'd slipped below his usual high standards. Is he the best in the league? It's very subjective. I guess if you're the Spurs head coach manager, you have to back your man, don't you? Personally, I favour Edison of the two of them. But you know, there's not a lot between it. There really isn't. But if I was in charge of Spurs, I would be talking up all of my players, because that's what you have to do.
But he is out of contract in about 18 months or so. Initial reports is that the initial talks have broken down, which usually the first time out normally never works anyways. But how concerned are you in terms of Hugo Lloris, his contract and his future at Spurs? And should Spurs perhaps start looking at life beyond Hugo Lloris?
Well, I would suggest that Spurs have and are looking at life after Hugo Lloris. I think what they would like to do is they would like to secure him for an extension to his current contract, for sure. And again, when you look at his age and when you look at the lifespan of a goalkeeper, you know, he's certainly far from old in goalkeeping terms. So I'm sure they want to keep him. But, you know, you always have to have a contingency plan in place. And if Spurs don't, and if they haven't been looking at it, then I would say they're neglecting that fact. And therefore, I believe they have other thoughts in case.
How urgent are those thoughts? I mean, do they have to look at it now? And if there is any sort of candidates you think would be good for them, Gabby?
Yeah, I think you just said he's got 18 months left. I don't think there's a big rush at the moment. I'm sure when he's done his contract negotiations, you know what it's like now. Players talk. He will know exactly what Harry Kane's on. He will know what Son's going in for a new deal for. So these players, he'll see himself as the captain. He'll want the same money as Harry Kane is on. He'll see that they can afford it because they're paying £300,000 a week for Gareth Bale's wages. That's not going to help negotiations. So I'm sure Spurs will come to a deal and give him sort of the money that he's looking for. But it's 18 months. It's a long time away now. With the way football is at the moment, with COVID, when we don't even know if football will be on in 18 months. So I think Spurs will bide their time. Behind closed doors, yes, they'll be looking for a young keeper, a young world-class keeper that can come in and maybe, like Henderson is with David De Gea, be a threat for the first choice and then break their way in.
I just wonder if the idea of Pochettino being at PSG would cause a bit of a worry as well in terms of that. On top of the fact that it's more likely PSG will be walking away with a trophy, is also where he's from. So I don't know if that would play a role in what his thoughts are, Gary.
Well, I think quite possibly so. You know, French goalkeeper goes back to play in the capital of France for Paris Saint-Germain. It kind of fits nicely, doesn't it? But I don't know what Hugo Lloris is planning for the future. You know, maybe he's fallen in love with London more than he has with Paris. I don't know. But you know, we can speculate on it. But yeah, it's a strong reason why he just might. Having said that, I'm sure there are strong reasons why he will quite possibly sign an extended contract at Spurs at some stage in the next 18 months and still be their #1 goalkeeper in 2 and 3 years' time.